We are hot. We are live.
Episode 46.
46.
5/29. The date today is February 21st. It is 50 degrees. What do you think?
It's raining. It's 50 degrees and raining.
What do you think Randall's radio call sign would be? Gummy bear.
Gummy bear? You would call him Gummy Bear? Does he eat a lot of gummy bears?
Yeah, he loves gummy bears.
Oh, does he love gummy? I was going to say gas station. I would just call him like
gas station sushi.
Gas station sushi. Or,
why that?
Because he has come here and said plenty of times that he only eats food from gas stations. So if anybody in this building has had gas station sushi,
so let's call him Tater. He don't eat sushi. He hates sushi. Let's
it
call
would
him
be
Tater
Randall.
Chip.
Tater chip? Yeah, tater chip. That would be good.
Chip. Another thing.
That would be a thing.
Tater chip. Gummy bear.
Gummy bear.
So Randall's here. We've
Randall's
been filming all day.
Filming all day.
We actually, some of the shit that's not even in the video will be better. Some of the shit Gabby recorded. We have a couple of really good outtake videos. Holy fuck! So we're gonna whip this podcast out. We've been going. It's a little later. We're getting started. It's 5:30. This is for video 41. This actually will be podcast episode 46. And
huh?
How
are we behind so many?
Talk to your girl, man. Talk to our chef and have him talk to his girl.
That's the way you got to do it.
How's this working? Leave your questions for... Oh, we've done that. Matt Susevich says, I found out about SOE a few years back because of the belt rant video. It completely won me over, and I placed my first order. Since then, everything I got from you guys has exceeded expectations. When I visited after taking a class last year, I knew for sure my money was going to the right people. Fast forward a few months, and we welcomed our son Mitchell into the world. He is finally able to fit into the onesie I picked up for him. Right on, man. Congratulations. We just did a diaper bag video today.
Did a diaper bag video.
That's the whole, all day we've been filming diaper bag video. Thanks for doing these podcasts. It's a great way to get a daily dose of SOE on demand. Man, thanks for being a part of what we're doing. And congratulations on the kid, man. Brian Fraser. John, here's a quick how-to video for the snowy trips home. Scully, I subscribed to Tim Pool after his points on JRE, Joe Rogan. I agree, Scully. He should have a longer podcast. I think he's trying to be like the quick cast type show. Thanks again, guys. I'm not sure what the video link you gave me is.
Tim, his podcasts are really good. I do enjoy their podcast, but for me here at work, the long format is better because I don't have to keep pulling my thing out and messing with it to get to the next podcast. So anything that, I subscribe to a couple that are like 35 minutes, and even that, I'm like, fuck, man, it just seems like every 2 minutes I'm trying to get the next episode. So I like his content. It's just because I'm at work, I would rather have a long format. I'd rather listen to 3 hours of
Are you listening?
whatever.
Are you downloading it to an iPod, or are you listening to it off your phone?
iPod.
So you can listen to it on your phone.
I don't want to use my phone. That's why I have the iPod.
My wireless headphones, I can fast forward from my headphone on my phone. Or if I can get, you want a smartwatch? You want to get your Apple Watch?
No, I wouldn't use it.
I said I
wouldn't use it.
Amanda uses it. They use theirs all the time, man.
I wouldn't use it for that. I like the fucking cord that goes through my shirt that plugs into my iPod.
But you guys don't realize.
And I like to just listen.
Here's how Jeff listens to podcasts. He plays them on his phone like we all do.
No.
And he has a tape recorder next to it, and he hits record. And then when Gina comes in, she's like, dinner's ready. He's like, Gina, I'm recording the podcast. And the dog barks. He's like, dog, stop barking. So when I walk past Jeff, I hear Jeff yelling through his headphones. He's like, Gina, I'm recording the podcast. Because he has a tape deck. I didn't even know they made tapes anymore. So he comes in. That's why he wears this hoodie. He has his tape deck, not a Walkman, a tape deck in here, and he hits, and he plays, and he listens. That's how
Joe Rogan. Yeah, that's how I do it.
That's how he's listening.
Those tapes last forever. You just record right over the old stuff.
He wanted an 8-track, but you couldn't get recordable 8-tracks.
This is true.
Brian again says, wanted to get in the off-tour areas while we were on the Midway. Being a union pipe fitter, the amount of pipe welded in super tight spots on the ship is insane crap. Keep in mind, that's an old ship, too.
Yeah, that's an old ship.
Imagine what they're doing now. Yes, Scully, the new carrier across the bay looked about a third or more larger than the Midway. I wish I knew about trying to get an off-tour area. Thanks for the awesome podcast and giving other rabbit holes for us to go down. If you're on a tour or you're on the aircraft carrier, they're not going to let you. You would have to sneak there, which is pretty fathomable. That's very doable. Or you have to meet a dude. Or
yeah, just meet one of the tour guides.
Bribe someone.
The older the guy is, the older and crustier he is, the more likely he's going to be like, "Come on, let's go to the engine room."
Because on the Missouri or whatever it was, the video I was watching, that dude actually deployed on that ship. Like, that dude had been fucking underway on that ship.
The cool thing about, as far as pipe fitting and all that, the way the contracts work with the Navy now is when they bring a ship back and they do a full retrofit on the ship. So when they're dry docked for 6 months, they actually bring contractors in, and so the contractors will come in and it'll be like, whatever, this pipe's leaking or whatever. And the contractor will work on the thing and fix it. And the Navy guy, who that's his specialty, the boatswain's mate who's supposed to be fucking fixing that, will just stand there and watch the contractor fix it.
Weird. Ed Brown, it has always been hard to get a large petrol tank opposed to diesel. Every time I ask DOT, they state it's just too dangerous, i.e. wrecks, rollover, etc. And many aren't gravity fed. You have to manually pump for secondary to the truck tanks. Yeah, I've noticed that too on all the transfer motors, the pumps. They always say don't use them in fuel. I'm guessing because of spark. Love the podcast. I would like to see Chef as a guest. We try to get him on here.
He won't come in. He's scared.
He's camera shy, which is weird because he did all that fucking porn. Like, there's so much fucking porn out there from him, but he won't come in here with his, like, maybe
that's why.
Maybe that's it. If we let him be naked.
Well, no, maybe he doesn't want, like, his fans to show up here kind of trying to oogle his wiener again.
No. We'd love to learn about his background and banter between him and Scully. Keep up the good work. Maybe they don't know that he's like the Phantom of the Opera.
Well, no, because we haven't had him on here to tell a story.
He has to wear that.
Yeah, half
mask.
Half mask.
Love the podcast. I'd like to see Chef. Look up Killdozer episode from 2004. That should give a little notion on how a corrupt, poor, and sacred community can cause just enough pressure for a reasonable, good, hardworking man to commit unreasonable deeds. That's the dude that welded all the armor.
Armor on the tractor.
Didn't he drive down the whole town?
Not the whole town, but he specifically attacked the targets that were causing him, that wronged him. Which, you know what? I'm all for that. That city was fucking him over. It's kind of like moving into a homeowners association and not knowing there's a homeowners association. Then all of a sudden they're telling you can't paint your house. You give people a little bit of power and they think they can ruin people's lives. And the city council's intent was to ruin that man's life. So you know what?
Did they kill him? Yeah, they killed him.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Did he drive through all the town council's homes?
Yes, well, I don't know if he got them all, but he fucking whacked some businesses pretty good.
Did he kill anyone?
I do not believe anyone was killed.
How'd they kill him?
Through a vent, or through a window vent, I think.
Got up and pistol shot him or something.
I think so.
First,
he might have killed himself, though.
You guys are awesome. What are your thoughts on Jota Masana, the girl from Alabama who went to Syria and joined ISIS? I was watching podcast 41 and had Fox News on. They were saying Trump told Pompeo that she should not be allowed back into the country. Of course, she already has a lawyer here defending her. Didn't she renounce her citizenship when she went to... Didn't they fucking gang rape that bitch? Isn't that what happened to her most? Probably. Yeah, she should not be coming back to fucking the United States.
No matter what, that is an act of treason. She gave aid and comfort to an enemy of the United States.
With her vagina.
We have declared... Well, I mean, I guess we haven't declared war. But she gave aid and comfort to an enemy of the United States, so that is a treasonous act. At the very least, they should say, yeah, come on back. And then they just put her in a black jet and fly her down to Cuba and drop her off with the rest of the terrorists and just leave her down there. No, they shouldn't let her back in. And the thing about renouncing your citizenship, there is a there is a legal way, a legal recourse on how to renounce your citizenship. You have to actually submit.
You have to tell the United States you're doing that.
You have to submit to the United States that you're renouncing your citizenship, as Lee Harvey Oswald did. Lee Harvey Oswald, when he defected and went to the Soviet Union, he actually submitted to the consulate, hey, I'm renouncing my U.S. citizenship. Fuck you guys. I don't want to be an American anymore. He actually did paperwork. I am sure that this chick did not fill out some paperwork saying I'm renouncing my citizenship when she booked over to the Middle East. But that's not, once again, that's not even the point. Let her come back. She gave aid and comfort to the enemy. They should arrest her and they should set her in fucking Guantanamo Bay until, Guantanamo Bay gets sucked up by the fucking ocean from all the icebergs that are melting.
Keep up the straight talk. Also, can you give me a shout out on the podcast we just did, Eric Capel 6? What's up,
Eric?
Scully for president 2020.
No, can't be president. Sorry.
So, what happened down there that she wants to come back, and why does she want to come back to some place she left to go fucking be with the enemy?
Because it's terrible that people don't realize that that part of the world is fucked up, and I don't care who you are, you're not going to want over there and go.
Went down there and they fucking. I thought they did something to her. I thought something happened.
There's a lot of girls that defected and want to come back. It's like that German guy that.
And chances are, if she comes back. She went down there and has been indoctrinated. She's coming back to do some shit here.
Yeah, it's like the German guy who went there and they only would use him as a sex slave.
Just ordered my third EDC belt, multicam black with royal blue thread. These things are addicting as tattoos. Love all the different... They're cheaper than tattoos. They cost less than tattoos. Keep up the topics on the podcast. Make the grind of driving a breeze. MAGA US. Deplorable. Right on, man.
And you can get another belt. Unlike erasing a tattoo, it's not very easy to get rid of a tattoo. So
Randall Hall, I can't wait to hear you talk about Snitch Boy Osmond getting arrested in Haiti. All right. Yeah, Osmond fucking caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. I went to prison off of Osmond. With all that said, I would be willing to bet Osmond was definitely there working with somebody, working for somebody. And it's like I told Jeff, I go, we could have just as easily been caught up in some shit overseas just like that. We know a bunch of people who do contract stuff. Chances are it was somehow related to the United States government and he was there on somebody's behalf. My guess is that Osmond will come home along with the other guys and really...
Nothing's going to happen to Chris Osmond.
And I don't think Chris did anything wrong. Most likely, I don't know. My guess is that, you know what Chris's fuck up probably was? Not going to guns fast enough. That's what Jeff said. I'm like, that could have easily been us. He goes, we wouldn't have fucking that would not have happened. So I don't know, man. I'm not like happy that Chris is jammed up with some dudes overseas. I would rather see Chris fucking open his mouth here and somebody fucking kill Chris. I would like Chris to get in a train wreck or something. I don't want Chris to be killed overseas over some silly shit like this. My feeling is that Chris probably he just got caught. They should have went to guns or they should have fucking picked a different route or I don't know the details. What do you have? It
is my belief. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I don't have anything to back this up. There's one of two things. There can only be two things that were happening here. Either that group of individuals down there to rob the Federal Reserve Bank that they were casing, or number two, they were there on behalf of the president of Haiti. So they were sponsored to go there on behalf of the president of Haiti to move money from Haiti to the United States. So when the Haitians kick this president out,
by stealing it from the bank.
When the Haitians kick this president out, he's going to live in Miami like all the other dictators that we accept and live off the gains that he got from Haiti. Those are two possibilities.
Which is why they did not go to guns.
Yeah, those are the two possibilities. It would make sense for them not to. It would make sense for them not to shoot the police if they actually thought they were working with the police. They were all dressed the same way the police were there in Haiti. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I don't really think he's going to get that group of individuals are going to get hemmed up for too long. They'll probably be down there for like a week, and then the State Department's going to be like, all right, hey, bring them back to the United States, and then they're all just going to fucking disappear.
not disappear. They're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, not yet.
Happened.
Back to their fucking normal lives. So I don't think that this is really that big of a deal. I mean, it's probably a big deal in the fact that his name's in the paper, but Chris has a way of making things not stick to him very well. So I think he's going to be just fine.
Like if he comes home, this will probably bump start his business. He's had some gear businesses. Chris's own words are, "Why innovate when you can recreate?" He literally just copies shit. Chris doesn't know anything about fucking building this shit. He literally took our products, cut them apart, took them to Mexico, and had them reverse engineered. He's done that to many companies, many people.
He paid to have somebody steal your patterns.
Yeah, he paid Rick Reardon, confidential informant number 2,
to steal
patterns. We have him on video tracing patterns, photocopying files on where the supplies came from and stuff. That's Chris Osman. I don't want to see Chris go down this way. Let this sink in. It was wrote in 1970. The Techtronic Era involves the gradual appearance of a more controlled society. Such a society would be dominated by elite, unrestrained by traditional values. Soon it will be possible to assert almost continuous surveillance over every citizen and maintain up-to-date files containing complete, even the most personal information about the citizen. These files will be subject to instantaneous retrieval and authorities. This was wrote in a book by the Zionist Zbigniew Brzezinski in it sounds a lot like 1984.
Yeah, like 1984.
And yeah, we're moving towards that. You guys got to realize that anything you're hearing, there are already leaps and bounds beyond that. That somebody fucked up and it got leaked, or it is so obsolete that it has now been seen by the normal populace. You have to imagine they are 10 steps behind what we're even fucking thinking about right now. Ahead of.
Just look at what if you really want to know, really want to know how advanced we are, look what Mexico's doing. So any security things that we're using in the United States, when we decide we're not going to use it anymore, we give it to Mexico. And so Mexico is using the stuff that we were using 10 years ago. So when you think about spying on phones and shit like that, it's beyond that. I mean, the Secretary of Defense did an interview recently where his fucking TV was duct tape. The fucking camera was duct tape, and where the fucking speaker was duct tape. Because they know that the fucking government is listening to every transmission source that it's gainable. So anything that's gainable, the National Security Agency, NSA, is fucking storing in Colorado.
And your 5G is all going to do that.
Oh yeah, 5G. You mean your fucking light bulbs are going to listen to what you're saying.
Everything is powered. Your toaster, everything has a fucking speaker and a camera in it.
Yep.
It's all a booster. That's why the fucking internet's supposed to be so awesome. It's also supposed to be very unhealthy. The same dude says the guy that wrote that was the national security advisor for Jimmy Carter.
He didn't do a very good job for Jimmy because, the Iran hostage thing didn't go well for Jimmy.
AKs and Glocks. Hey, John, quick question. Are the rifle bags currently in stock? Does the standard lead time apply? Just thought about a black camo. Haven't seen a shipment notification. Just bought one in black camo. The honest answer is I don't fucking know. If you watch my live feed videos, you'll see every night. There's probably fucking 50 rifle cases out there that could ship to you yesterday.
Multicam black has to be cut, though.
Multicam black has to be cut. There's your answer. Send me an email. Give me a list of 3 other colors you'd be willing to take. We'll make that happen. Or sit tight. We'll build them. They're coming.
Yeah, they're coming.
The weapon collection 10. Scully. I'll get you an Abrams if you get me an A10. Shit.
I see what you're doing there. You're trying to pigeonhole me with an Abrams and you flying around up there with an A10. There's no way I'm giving you a fucking A10 for an M1 Abrams unless you're going to give me a ZSU 23. If you give me a ZSU 23 to go with it, then we'll talk. What's the good news?
The good news is we know the guys that control the fucking A10s and put them on target.
Well, the good news is the A10. For you, the good news is the A10 has actually met a mothball stream. While I don't think the desert still has any. I think they brought them all back out for the National Guard. it's possible to. I'll bet there's an airframe that you could find.
The infrared gas tube heaters are pretty good in my metal building. You just have to make sure they are level. 18-year-old from Idaho, David Holstrom, made $35,000 plowing snow in Seattle in just 4 days. So cool. Good. Is that
awesome,
you, Zip Roar 8813? Is that you, bro?
That's fucking awesome. On you. That's good hustle right there.
Fucking on you, man.
You just gotta find and that.
Now don't fucking spend. If you made 35 grand, you got 5 grand. Go play. Fucking take that 30 grand.
Buy 2 more trucks.
Fucking do something else with it. Make money with it.
Buy 2 more trucks. Hire 2 more dudes. Cover twice as much area. Make 10 times as much money.
If you're ready to go. When it goes dormant, put the money into something else. Do landscaping, fucking some kind of equipment. Look at how the guys from Diesel Brothers, look up their story. Those guys bought a tractor. They started building walls. Then they bought a tractor. Then they bought more equipment. That's how they started all this, was equipment. And I would tell you, when you have a chunk of money like that, put some of that in some fucking, like an investment, in a mutual fund, whatever. Just, if you just socked away some money, if you put $100 away right now, just look into that shit. Here's one TV show mix between Doomsday Prepper and American Picker, called Picking for Survival, starring you and Scully in the A-Team van, just
awesome.
Fucking things up and finding the Abrams. Thanks for the man. You had me like I was about to go look for this show.
Get the sponsor set up. We'll do a pilot episode. If you have an A-Team van, bring it here. Let's do a pilot episode. American Survival Pickers would be fucking awesome.
Dude, I see Mike in fucking Nashville all the time. We'll hit him up. My boy John Ruppel knows that dude fucking pretty well. I've seen him a dozen times.
That would be fucking awesome.
We'll throw the show at him and we'll get him to sponsor the show.
That would be fucking awesome.
Have you been to his building? They bought that old car plant. The building is fucking awesome, man. And you can get into some places in there where you're probably not supposed to be. Those fucking, like, it's cool. Like, there's a stairwell you go up and there's a bathroom at the top of it. It's a big ass stairwell. It's the whole fucking floor is vacant. Big sliding fucking steel doors on the side across the street. Just listen to podcast 43. You asked about how some of us found out about SOE. If I remember right, it was on Glock World, some other gun forum on Facebook talking shit. You know, the same song and dance. It was over belts. Just so happened at that point, I said, fuck it, I need a real belt, and found the video of you and Jaeger. Incidentally, I've been a loyal customer since then to you and Jaeger, as well as advice given. I haven't spent as much money as some people or trained as much as others, but still my go-to people for people for training and gear. Keep up the podcast. By the way, your content is more interesting than Joe Rogan.
I wish. Hey, thanks a lot. And I thought for sure when you said Glock that you were going to say, I saw the video where Scully said Glock suck. Because Glock suck. So, enough on that.
On the weed gun thing. You know, I didn't know it. So.
Oh, by the way.
What?
Do you remember us having a conversation about a certain individual... A certain individual that doesn't like James Jaeger and wears fucking women's lingerie on...
Yeah. Fucking punk.
He
come up in your videos?
I just saw... No, he didn't come up in mine. It was just on the open YouTube thing. He's got a video that... It sounds like it's totally in response to a video that we did.
It probably is. He's done that many times. He's a fucking bitch. So... The Glock suck thing, right? So I've got a bunch of airsoft guns. We pulled them out because I was doing some video stuff. So it turns out I don't actually own a Glock airsoft pistol. I only own a 1911 fucking airsoft pistol.
Because even in airsoft, the 1911 is still a better pistol than a Glock.
On the weed gun thing, Colorado medical cards are starting or already have to be placed in a listing for CBI. Colorado Bureau of Investigation to deny checks on guns. All checks in the state go through CBI and federal NICS check, NICS. I've got friends with cards that want a CCW permit, and the state is going to start denying and prosecuting those offenses.
It is okay.
And he's saying not just fucking smokable weed. He's talking fucking place listing. Okay, no, he is.
Here's the thing about that. It's always been a federal crime to use any of the federally regulated substances listed and buying a firearm. It's right on the form that you fill out. So if you say...
And there's another thing, too. So if you say no and you are, there's a little thing called perjury.
Yep.
Perjury, for those of you that don't know, is entering the property with the intent to commit a crime. So that in itself is a federal offense because you filled out a federal paperwork. And when you do that, that is a federal offense.
Yep. So when you get your marijuana card and you go, I'm going to go buy a gun, and then you're like, hey, the state of Colorado says this is legal, so I'm going to mark no. What John just said is exactly right. And
not only
unfortunately, it will be Colorado police officers that will be arresting you and taking you to jail.
And not only to the men's correctional facility for the feds.
Yep.
Federal law overrides state law at any time they choose to. Dudes in Texas, off parole, off probation, have their gun rights back. If the feds want them, feds override state law.
Yep.
Federal law says that you cannot own a firearm as a felon. It overrides it.
Just like federal law still...
There are some exceptions.
Just like federal law still says that marijuana is a... what is it, a class 3 or a class 1? I don't know. But marijuana is still legal as far as federal government's concerned. And at any time, if they wanted to go to Colorado and get every fucking dime that they've made through tax revenue...
Or California.
They could go take that money, and there's nothing the state could do. I mean...
They won't do that.
Call out the National Guard.
They won't do that because California puts too much money into
they pay a lot of taxes, federal taxes
not only
with that money.
taxes, into their fucking campaign funds.
Also, just hold out, man. Hold out. Hold out, brothers. I'm telling you. Trump's going to legalize weed. You got about 9 months or maybe even less than that where he's going to come out and go, hey, we need to legalize weed.
Yeah, it's messed up, bro, but if you work for big pharmaceutical companies, selling drugs is fine. Government just screws everything up. Good luck. Tim Kennedy was an SF dude who did all the Hitler stuff. Yeah, that's him.
That's Tim.
There is a huge German settlement in Argentina. Yes. They were fucking... It's crazy. They were molesting a bunch of fucking boys. Many of those dudes were Hitler's right-hand men. When they went in and actually busted that facility, they were amassing all kinds of weapons and building nerve agents. There's a lot of information, a lot of videos on that.
Watch if you watch any of the Telemundo stuff when they do the Argentina game shows, any of the game shows that's in Argentina, all the famous people, so all the people that are behind the camera, all the people that are in front of the camera, you're going to see a lot of blonde hair, light complexion, a lot of, they're speaking Spanish, but they don't look Spanish. They look very European. And every time they go from the front of the stage to the people in the stands, it looks like regular Mexicans in the stand. There was a lot of Germans that went to Argentina after World War II and did a lot of and changed a little bit of the bloodline down there.
I'd like to hear both of your opinions on how the next war will happen, i.e. where, who, and on, and all of that. Love the gear. Belt, wallet, shotgun, micro.
Next war.
Saving money for a stacked micro rig and raid. You posted one and I fell in love. Thanks for your podcast and all the other hard work. John, divert some money immediately and go buy one if we have one online in raid. We won't build them again for a long time. I want to say we just ran them.
What is it?
Stacked micro.
In raid? Yeah, I think we still have a couple left, so buy it now if you really want it. Next war, I don't know what you mean by next war. If you mean next...
That's what he means.
Little brush fire that we're going to have, I don't know. The next real war has to be between the United States and China. Because China is plying to be the next empire on top in the world. As far as the Pentagon's concerned, that's where the next real war will be. They already have a battle plan where the war is started by 3 carrier fleets totally getting wiped out by the Chinese. So the next real war will be with China if we don't self-implode.
How many ships are 3 carrier fleets?
It's a fucking ton of ships.
How many carrier fleets do we have?
10. The support ships
in the water, out in the ocean at all times.
No.
How many
No. There's usually I want to say it's 2 in the Med and 3 in the Pacific. So depending on what you mean, if we don't self-implode, it'll be the Chinese. That's my big guess. We're kind of pushing the Russians around, or pushing the Russians a little bit here, a little bit there, but the Russians aren't. It's not the Soviet Union anymore. They don't have the ass and the gas to go toes to toe with us anymore. The Chinese, on the other hand, the Chinese are modernizing their military. Not as good as ours, but they've got 34 million. I believe it's 34 million males that have no opportunity to marry a fucking woman because there's not enough females in China.
That also means mate and fuck.
Yeah, that's an army. That's an army that would love to come to the United States.
Rape and pillage.
And fucking rape and pillage. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be China.
Hey, John, are your belts made to order, or do you have some already cut, laying around, ready to ship 36 multicam? Roy, the answer is, I don't fucking know, man. And if we had 10 of them out there yesterday, that doesn't mean we have them today. We build about 100 belts a day. You're asking a question that fucking doesn't matter, because had you ordered it fucking 2 days ago, it already would have shipped out of here. Order the thing you want, and we'll build it if we don't have it. At the most, it's gonna take a week to travel to you from the time you order it. You'll have it in your hands, worst case scenario.
Just order the belt.
Order the belt. You'd already have it. By the time you fucking heard this and posted this,
you would have already had the belt.
Scully, did you just assume the next Democratic president's gender?
I don't have to assume gender. I don't have to assume gender. Gender is a scientific fact. It's not something that's up for negotiation. There are only two genders, that's male and female. Everything else is considered a bit of lunacy. So if you believe that you are some sort of other gender, there's something wrong with you and you should be locked up.
Yeah. We used to put those people in asylums.
Yep.
Now they walk amongst us.
Now, in saying that, I'm talking about gender. If you want to dress,
you have a penis.
If you want to dress up, I'm just talking about gender. If you want to dress up like a woman and walk around and be called Sally, I'll call you Sally. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what panties you're wearing.
Be convincing about it. We don't need to know.
I'll call you Sally. I don't care. But when you're talking about gender, there are only two genders.
You got an innie or an outie.
Yep, that's it.
And if you cut your fucking outie off, you need help. You need a hospital.
If you cut here's the thing that most people don't.
If you're so committed to it, why are you bothering going through 2 years of fucking counseling and shit? Why don't you just fucking whack your dick off?
They have to.
Just cut your shit off.
Here's the thing that you may not know, but anybody who has transitioned will know that a male body. So if you take your peenie and you take it and turn it from an outie to an innie, it will consider that your body will consider that a wound for the rest of your life, and we'll try and heal that up. We'll try and actually close that wound. Because guess what? You're not a woman. No matter how many hormones you take, no matter how big your boobs are, you're still a fucking genetic man. So your body is going to respond in that manner. If I was a woman right now, I would be fucking mad as hell that Bruce Jenner got Woman of the Year. There are plenty of women out there who have fucking suffered and toiled.
He don't even have a fucking pussy.
Yeah, suffered and toiled and done great things for this country, if not the world. And this dude just bolts on some tits and somehow he's Woman of the Year. It's ridiculous. We really should be fucking slapping these people and going, hey, you want to walk around looking like a fucking idiot? Go ahead, that's fine. But you're not going to force all your lunacy on us.
And if you're a dude that became a woman and you're a hot woman and got a dude to marry you, why would you go tell him? Why would you let that cat out of the bag? If you were hot enough to pull it off, fucking and if you're a chick and you got really nice tits and a pussy, we'll look at them.
And once again, I don't care.
If you're a dude, wait, what did I just say?
You said if you're a hot chick with the tits.
If you were a dude that became a hot chick and you're out there on fucking Porn World or whatever, we don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
The problem is that you guys make a big deal about it. Nobody cares until you are the only ones that care. Nobody's fucking keeping you from shit. If you're good at fucking pulling the wool over the eyes, fucking pull it over, leave it there. Nobody cares. I heard, what's your girl's name? Arroyo?
AOC?
I heard she's going to run as vice president for Bernie Sanders.
That would be, you know what? God, please, Lord, put those two fucking idiots Those two idiots together, their mouths will. Oh my God.
That.
Trump won't even have to run. He wouldn't even have to run. He could just sit in the White House and smoke cigars.
It'd be funny if
those two would burn the fucking house down.
It'd be funny if Trump was like, "Fuck you guys, you can have it. I'm out. I did mine. I'm gonna go make money now."
Deuces. That'd be funny too.
Wow, the information Cali sucks. Lavoy, yep, the Bundy Ranch, great videos.
Yeah, Cali does suck.
The baby gas mask with a little pump from World War II always looked freaky. I have one of those, Rob.
That's probably what they probably. Oh, I don't know how they would have saw it in here.
Yeah, that carfentanil is 100 times stronger than fentanyl. Correction: police paramedics need to assume the worst when they see an unknown substance. Every year, drug addicts are using more and more lethal shit. Keep a few naloxone kits handy for you and your partner. The rest are for the drug addicts that overdose. So we had a firefighter in here. I'm like, how often are you putting out what's it called?
Narcan.
He's like, every day, every fucking day. I said, how many have you seen where you've had them re-hit the same dude? He goes, we just hit a dude. We hit a dude fucking 2 days ago, and I got off shift, and the next fucking night they hit him fucking again.
Yep.
And then if you touch it, because it's synthetic now, it's synthetic fentanyl, which is way worse. You can literally just rub it, and you fall out.
One would have to assume, and I always say this. I'm not big on conspiracies, but our government, the United States of America government, and I say ours because it's my government too. During the alcohol years.
Yeah, do you know what denatured alcohol was? It was poisoned alcohol.
Yeah, they would poison the alcohol so people would die from alcohol
put
poison.
The poison in it.
The government did it.
One of the main coroners in New York and one of the busiest precincts was processing 600 cases a day
of alcohol poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning that the government put in. Denatured alcohol was shit that they put in to fucking make it poisonous so that people could not consume it.
So it would not surprise me if someone up high on Capitol Hill somewhere thought that they were holier than thou, and that they are the ones that are creating this super. Why else would the FDA approve it?
Agenda 21.
The FDA approves it. The reason why the FDA has to approve it so a drug company can manufacture it. What are they going to manufacture it for? It's going to end up on the street, and drug users are going to end up using it, and drug users are going to end up dying. It's no different than the fentanyl. They're not drilling holes in the ground and getting that and being like, oh, let's make crack cocaine out of this. It's coming out of a fucking regulated laboratory. So it wouldn't surprise me if 20 years from now they talk about, some federal agency was fucking allowing that fucking poisonous stuff to get on the street because we wanted to get rid of all the drug users.
Just like crack in Los Angeles. Just like fucking AIDS. American politics. Retard party versus retard party. I am not real concerned with party anymore because they are all retards. This retard wants to tax, but the other retard wants to spend, etc. Really is just an illusion. Enjoy less liberty. Enjoy more inflation. The retards are in power. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Also, I agree. Fuck CNN, fake news. Also, fuck Fox, fuck the news, and fuck the government. Okay.
They're all owned by the same people.
All of them.
All of them. They're all owned by the same people.
John, Tennessee needs more nuke plants. Centralia, Pennsylvania coal mine fire started in 1962 and will continue to burn. Yeah, we know all about it. For 250 years. Most nuclear power plant issues are resolved by... Yeah? They're resolved? How's fucking Fukushima going right now? Because the entire fucking West Coast ocean population is fucking dead. There's no starfish. There's no fish. Fucking whales and dolphins are washing ashore. They said that less than 10% of the salmon fucking returned this year to fucking spawn. So how's that going?
We assume that things are better just because we don't understand. Well, most people don't understand how radiation works in the first place. But the problem. Here's the thing.
This guy's going to work at a nuclear facility.
Yeah, nuclear power on the drawing board is a great idea, but the problem is humans. The problem is us. There is eventually going to be a problem at every single one of those plants, and it doesn't matter if the plant uses up all the nuclear rods or whatever. If they have a fucking meltdown, The problem with a meltdown at a nuclear reactor is the amount of space that it instantly destroys and makes uninhabitable. We can't afford that. We can't afford to have all of our fucking areas wiped out because we needed nuclear power. We don't need, I mean, I don't want to say we don't need nuclear power. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm fine with the plants that are running right now. But honestly, I'd rather fucking burn coal than nuclear power.
This dude's got some interesting numbers. Most nuclear power plant issues are resolved by Gen 4 design. Gen 4 power plants actually consume nuclear waste. Gen 4 also costs less and is economic. A coal seam 90 feet below the surface has been burning for an estimated 5,500 years in Australia. Scully, residential electricity consumption in Tennessee averages 1,217 kilowatt hours a month, which ranks second in the United States.
Yeah, it's because we have a fucking...
You need tanks and nukes to stay free.
Because the summers are so ridiculous out here, the humidity, that's why
I wonder how we're the second in the United States for fucking power consumption. How can that even fucking be?
I don't know.
We're one of the smallest states.
It's possible. I'm going to say it's because we run air conditioners 24/7.
You mean fucking Las Vegas doesn't? How is
I guess Las Vegas. But so the thing you don't know about Las Vegas is most of those hotels generate their own power, and all the free power that they get from the dam. I don't think it's free, but I get what you're saying. My concern is the accidents. And I know they're very rare. I do know they're very rare, but the problem is they don't have to be super rare. And I believe the fucking Santa Onofre unit that they put in was a Gen 4 reactor.
Yeah, how are those three doing?
That totally fucking melted down over there in California. I mean, it didn't melt down, but it didn't operate the way it was supposed to, and so they had to shut that fucking reactor down.
Before it high ordered.
So I get what you're saying. It is a smart way to generate power, but right now, until they come up with some sort of containment vessel in a way to contain a meltdown so that the meltdown is completely contained, I'm not for it, man, because it destroys too much terrain. Too much stuff gets contaminated when one of those things goes high order. Fukushima is putting millions of gallons of contaminated water into the Pacific Ocean right now.
They're not even pretending to fucking contain it anymore.
So I'm not down with fucking nuclear power.
And all the sarcophaguses that are on the island where they put all the fucking hot water. Like they say that if you're next to that for 30 minutes, you literally die within a week or two. Just being next to the fucking containment containers. The containment containers were two-piece. They bolted them together. Every fucking one of them right now is leaking.
They did they do tours. You can do these, what do they call them? It's not ecotourism. It's
called dark tourism.
Yeah, dark tourism. But they do these tours. And so you can take a tour over to Chernobyl, a couple other places. But there was this tour bus, and they're videoing this thing, and they're going to Fukushima. And all these people got their Geiger counters and shit, and they're showing them different places. They're not even close to Fukushima. And they're looking at the fucking Geiger counters and they're like, hey man, this says we are 5 times higher than the radiation allowed at Chernobyl. And the bus driver's like, we're okay. We're okay, it's okay. We're just going to keep going down here. It's fine. The closer they got, the fucking higher their fucking dosimeters pegged. They were going to actually take them down to where the reactor was, but everybody on the bus was like,
and you're not talking on a compound. Yeah. You're talking fucking miles and miles away.
They're like, hey, my fucking Geiger counter is pegged. And he's like, well, do you not want to go? And they're like, yeah, we want to turn it around. They actually turned around and left. The thing about radiation, I mean, if you're a nuclear physicist or whatever, then you know this. But the thing about radiation, you can't taste it, touch it, feel it. It's just there. It's just happening to you until it's too late. There was a nuclear when the guys were doing I want to say it was the Able test in the Pacific Ocean. The Navy was like, "Hey, we didn't sink all these ships. Let's do another test right now. We'll do another A-bomb test right now." And one of the chief physicians aboard the ship said, "The radiation levels are too high. We cannot fucking do this. People are going to die." And the Navy guys at the time,
And
you know,
they'd all die
the
eventually.
big generals were like, the admirals were like, hey, no, that's just some heebie-jeebie stuff. It's not real. It doesn't really kill people like you think it does. And so the Navy doctor jumped into the fucking Pacific Ocean there in the atoll, got a fucking fish out of the water,
because they were all dead.
got a piece of photo paper and put it on the photo paper, and it overexposed the entire piece of photo paper. And so the admirals were like, yeah, maybe we'll do it another time. And they canceled the next test. Radiation isn't, it's one of those things you just can't fuck with, because eventually your fucking asshole's just going to fall out.
I live about 40 miles from a military base, and they have a huge bunker. They have huge bunkers underground full of old Vietnam missiles and chemicals. The land above the bunkers are full of cows. They said if the cows start dying, they know there's a leak.
Do you by chance live in Fallbrook, California?
Why?
Because Fallbrook, California, that's where the
Depot is?
the Navy depot is, and they had at the time the largest stockpile of Vietnam napalm in the world. And
I thought they started burning all that.
yeah, they did. And all those canisters were leaking and shit. It was a big problem for the Navy at that time.
They weren't underground though, were they?
Oh, they were just open air stored. They do the same thing at Fallbrook. Is they have free roaming cattle that roam across the Fallbrook Naval Station. I thought the reason they had that,
Is that connected to Camp Pendleton?
it is connected, but you have to go through. So if you come from Fallbrook, you go through a Navy gate, and then you drive all the way through the naval base, and you go through another gate to get on Camp Pendleton. But it's gate to gate. I thought they had the cows on there for make sure the grass doesn't get too high, but you're probably right. It's probably how they fucking. Oh look, there's a bunch of dead cows over there.
Could we
We're not
have
gonna
just
go there.
driven there?
Yeah,
Would they have let us go
You
on?
could have gone on, because it's actually a pathway to.
Yeah.
It's actually a pathway
Back there to
to
Bonzel and all
to
that
Camp
shit.
Pendleton. So yeah, you could have drove through it. long as
Pretty,
you had
pretty
ID.
sure I once saw you at a flea market in Tennessee walking around with a fucking stuffed bobcat. You very well could have. I did walk around a flea market for at least an hour with a stuffed bobcat. I've walked through there with a lot of fucking odder things than a stuffed bobcat, but I do in fact have a stuffed bobcat upstairs that came from the Nashville flea market. It's actually this weekend, as a matter of fact. I'm going to the Nashville flea market tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It's an antique and garden show as well. The Democrats try to push our buttons, so some crazy Republicans will do something stupid. Then they try to make the crazy guy the spokesperson for all the conservatives.
That's true.
They're doing a pretty fucking good job of fucking being way crazier right now.
Yeah, the difference is the left is a lot crazier than the right, and that's why you keep having them doing all this crazy shit. Every now and then you're gonna have somebody on the right do something fucking stupid. Like they just arrested a Coast Guard guy for attempting to assassinate Nancy Pelosi. So
For real?
for real,
When did this happen?
it just happened this week. So basically,
How did he fail?
how do they always fail?
Did they find fucking Bader Ginsburg?
I have not heard anything.
I
about
just heard
Ruth.
she came out and I heard she fucking voted on this shit. Ruth Bader. I heard they found her and she is now fucking ruled on something.
I find that hard to believe. But anyways,
I want to say it was Spearco that said it.
maybe. So this Coast Guard guy, basically, you know how they always do it. He amassed an arsenal. He's got like 5 guns, 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and he made a list. He made a list of the people he wanted to kill.
He didn't. Bullshit.
He made a
bullshit.
And this
He's framed. Nobody that was
the
going to
better-
do it made a fucking
the
list.
better part of this is that he got on his computer and he went,
How do I kill? Where
does Nancy Pelosi live? Where do so and so? He basically got on his
So that
computer.
flagged him?
That's what flagged him. That's
Check
how he
that
got
out,
caught.
guys. That's weird.
Yeah,
Somebody-
that's weird.
they just-
Weird. That's how they caught him.
Huh.
They used his computer to catch him. That's
I have
crazy.
I have no doubt that they do that, but I don't believe that dude's being framed for something. It's look at this because something's going to happen over here. Just like what's your boy's name? The Empire, the black guy.
Oh,
the
black
actor?
guy? Yeah. No,
he paid those dudes with a fucking personal check.
Because he's that dumb. They're that dumb. Liberals are that stupid.
Hey, what brand of gun belt do you guys recommend that is not made? We don't. By a company that will take 8 weeks to that is not made of nylon, by a company that will take 8 weeks to deliver. Just fucking with you. Thanks for all these vids. I spend a lot of nights in my sleeper cab on the road in your vids, along with Jaegers and Rogans this past weekend, and others provide a lot of entertainment. Scott, man, if you're ever this way, stop by. You can come right on our property with your truck, and you can continue around the building, or you can come in and turn right to the right. Semi-trucks do it every day, and then you can continue. We have our power lines. We specifically had them raise the power lines up
so
the tallest semi-trucks can drive all the way around the building. You are welcome to come here anytime. Stop by.
Keep on trucking.
Doesn't matter if Trump loses the Supreme Court regarding his emergency funding for the wall. He already has the funding in full for the wall. Episode 918 started at 40 minutes of Dan Bongino's podcast. He breaks down how Trump has a full, undisputed funding to build the wall. By the time the SCOTUS hears the case, Trump will already spend $5.5 billion on the wall.
That's really not how they do it. What happens is the money's there, right? Here's the thing: when you look at the Defense Department budget or NASA's budget or whatever, there's fuckery money in there. There's money to buy fucking everybody coasters and everybody fucking new blue hats.
Because there's money in there. That to their fucking cousins.
There's fuckery in all that. So yes, the Defense Department has money set aside in there, probably specifically for wall building. But that's not how it works. He doesn't have to. The Democrats aren't waiting for fucking it to get to the Supreme Court. What's happening and what is happening right now is, I want to say it's 13 states, maybe more, are suing the federal government to stop the funding of the wall. Okay? What'll happen is a court, because there is this lawsuit, a court will institute an injunction. That injunction will say, you can't fucking build 1 mile of wall until this gets settled. And so that tractor that pulled up there and was digging the hole for the foundation is just going to sit there until it gets all the way to the Supreme Court. And then when the Supreme Court hears it, they're going to go, boop, sorry, Trump, you don't get to use that money for that purpose. That's my guess. I mean, maybe the Supreme Court, maybe that Supreme Court justice that the Democrats just raked over the coals votes in favor of it and says, fuck you, Democrats, but I doubt it. I think they're gonna crush his ability to touch the purse strings. The thing that most of you don't, or I don't want to say most of you, but the thing that most people don't understand is the federal government's budget is technically not for right now. The federal government, or like Defense Department, they're planning 5 years out. So if you go down to the border right now, there is money that Obama put aside for the wall. And there are tractors and trucks down there building wall right fucking now with money that Obama set aside. So yes, wall's going to get built during this time period, whether the Democrats win or Trump wins. Wall's going to get built. It's just how long it takes.
Bundy Ranch from Nevada, not Arizona.
Bundy Ranch in Nevada.
If people had to do forced labor, the government assistance people would stop using it. It's not about aiding most of the people. It's about free shit. And I said 100% correct. 50% would not show up just with the mention of work.
If you go ahead and take a look at what Maine did. Maine did mandatory work for all government assistance.
And they have a ton of money now all of a sudden.
And they had a 50% drop fucking immediately of people who were on assistance because they would not come to pick up trash on the side of the road.
Just with the mention of it.
Yeah, just with the mention of it.
It is in my belief that the Constitution has been divinely inspired by God through our founding fathers.
I don't know about that, but it's a good document. It's the best document that's ever been, I mean, I don't want to say ever been written, but...
What would be the best one to ever be written?
Probably that. I mean, the thing about the United States is we are we are a beacon for the rest of the world. Everybody is striving to be in the point of power that we are. And Lincoln said it. It's not going to be the Russians. It's not going to be the Russians who are going to come in here and raise the fucking hammer and sickle above the White House. It's going to be us. It's going to be fucking AOC and fucking Bernie.
You guys, I know that a lot of you guys are going to say the Bible was the greatest document.
That was a book, though.
That was reauthored many times. That there was very few people that could read and interpret that, and when they transcribed that into Greek?
Yeah,
that was rewritten. There was a lot of translation from man, no matter where it originated or was inspired. It was rewritten over and over. And what about how many chapters is it right now? 25?
No, there's
15. How many? 50. Over half of the original chapters.
Over half of the original Bible has been
there.
thrown in the
Those
trash.
pesky other chapters. Scully, you're on point. No lie. If you're sweating the most awesome of SOE gear in 12 hours, it is apparent that you don't have a fucking thing to worry about. I had one time out of I don't know how many orders I have from SOE that I asked to have a belt expedited. I think it was to an FPO some time ago, and it was literally there within 2 weeks. So we get asked that all the time. Hey, there's been a huge influx of it. Hey, I'm a cop. Can I get this faster? Hey, I have class. Hey, I'm going on a trip. The crazy shit is, I had probably 20 of those this week at least. Every fucking one of them, over half of them had already shipped by the time I read the email. And the rest of them, most of them were like belts. They would have shipped today or tomorrow anyways.
Yeah.
We usually don't even fucking respond to you because you get a tracking number the next day or two. And then I got a dude that, and it's always these guys. And you motherfuckers never contact me through a normal channel, like email. You always want to, one of the worst ways to communicate with me is through direct message on Instagram. I don't see most of your guys' shit because we ain't fucking friends. So it goes to this whole other folder. So it's always a dude through a channel like that, and he's like, I want this thing, do you have this color? And you're like, yes, we have this color. And then he wants to ask you 10 more fucking questions. Well, my wife wants gray, not fucking multicam black. And then you go on, and 4 days later, he hits you up, and he's like, hey, you said you have this, your website won't let me order. That's because when we started this conversation a week ago, we did fucking have it. Fucking send a goddamn email. Because here's what happens when you send an email. I can print that motherfucker out. I can't do shit on the computer on Instagram. I have to do it through the phone. You're not going to really talk to me direct message through Instagram. Send an email, because what happens is when you guys are like, hey, do you have this blah, 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 I will reply to you and go, we do not. And if it's something I think we're going to make, I'll go, do you want me to make one? I'll send you an email when we have it. At that point, I print that. That becomes the job order. That motherfucking whatever that item is you want will never get made until I have a commitment from somebody.
Yeah.
And Jeff will go, how many do you think we want to do? It might be 24. It might be yours plus 3. It depends what it is. The day they finish, I send you an email. Hey, we just built these. Your shit's online. Go order it. I give you about an hour to 2 hours before I before I show other people. There's many times when we've put that shit. I've sent you an email. That night I put the things up. They're gone. Yep. You fucking 2 weeks later come back surprised that it's not online. You lost your fucking window. We built that shit. You didn't save your money. You were busy fucking ninjing around the moon. Whatever it is. If it's a legit dude, we'll run them again. But fucking, we built them. That's how that happens. That's why we make you email us. I can't do dick. And then when you guys fucking do this, want to do this through Facebook, I can't find you through Facebook half the time. You guys use a fake name, whatever it is. If I have email direct with you, if you can't fucking email us, we can't do business, man. And then when you fucking, I have a dozen dudes at least in the last 2-3 days asking about fucking orders and shit. What are you doing with Disney?
That's Gina.
She sends you Disney shit?
Yeah.
Which one are you? Mickey Mouse?
Of course.
So, Tell Gina she just fucked up my train of
Oh,
thought.
God.
What the fuck was that?
That's all right.
Why can't you
You're
be
fine.
like Chippendale?
You should have been looking at my pictures.
Why can't you be Chippendale? Well,
could have been big
if you're
dicks.
looking at my pictures, you'd have seen fucking pussy or titties. Who the fuck
I
sent
don't
some...
want to see... No.
You got a Mickey Mouse... Give me your fucking watch back. You go get a Mickey Mouse watch. Which would probably be worth a fortune now if I had my Mickey Mouse
watch.
watches.
Yeah, it probably would be.
I've got another dozen dudes that fucking emailed and like, hey, I just ordered this and I put in the wrong zip code. You didn't tell me who the fuck you are. Like, you didn't make any reference to an order number. And don't tell me you don't have one, because the fucking system sent one to whatever email address you use.
Yeah.
So if you don't know it's there, go fucking find it. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'll put his name in. We don't find you by the name. You don't give me, or hopefully it's coming through email, but you motherfuckers doing it through Facebook, we don't know who the fuck you are. Like, we legitimately cannot find your order. I love how that bar jumps when I fucking raise my
Volume.
voice.
Love that.
Yeah, like
Raise
it's
it.
an equalizer. So, if you email me, at least I have a fucking email address I can copy paste into the order system, and miraculously, we still can't find 30% of you dudes because you're fucking emailing me from a different address.
Email, yeah.
I get it. You're trying to hide some shit from your wife. If you're trying to hide some shit from your wife, be a good fucking underhanded doing whatever you're doing and fucking put in the right address, and then we wouldn't have to have these conversations. Help us help you. You have one fucking order to track. I have literally fucking 500 orders every day, and 10% of you guys are fucking retards, so we have to do this.
I don't even think
bullshit.
it's that high.
It's not.
It's not that high. It's not that high. It's only.
not.
It's maybe 1% retards.
But those are and that's back to that whole 10% of your customers take 80% of your time. The reality is 2% of our customers take 90% of our time.
That's true.
That's why I'm so fast to just like fire you guys. Like, really, I mean, all you do is get mad and advertise for us. No lie, if you're sweating, we already did this one, huh? Literally within the next. Scully, you are on point on the shipping. People in the society today have a instant mentality.
Instant gratification.
And used to having the companies kiss their asses and appease them. I believe that over half the time a customer tells us we fucked something up, I really believe that they're lying. Because they are. Because, like, we'll have a dude be like, hey, I ordered this black thing, and you sent me a coyote thing. The first thing I do is look at all your orders and see if we ever sent you a black thing or a coyote or whatever you're selling us we sent you wrong. And I'll ask those dudes, hey, send so you have 2 of them on hand then, right? Send me a picture of both of them. Do you know that not one fucking time ever has that dude ever... Those guys have never sent a photo, and we've never heard anything more from them because you're busted. When it's something wrong, we'll usually be like, hey, fucking, we'll send them the right one. Or occasionally we'll get a dude's like, man, the patch, the Velcro, I just wish the grain of the Velcro ran up and down instead of side to side on my patch. I'm like, cut it in half. Send me a photo of it in half. We'll send you a new one. Well, don't you think that's kind of harsh? Well, it's not harsh enough that you're fucking... I even have to have a conversation with you about this. Cut it in half. Send me a photo. We'll send you another. You know they never have? Never. And I've got dozens of those dudes. It's fucking crazy. It's because they're trying to get some free shit. It's just like when a lady's like, you just sent me this order and he's no longer here. Can you refund me? But I need to give you a different credit card number to refund it to. I just believe that you're lying. Like we always believe that you're lying. If it's real, fucking we will take care of it. I C-clamp my shotgun all the time.
C-clamp that shit, man. Get up in there. Get as far over as you can. If you can over and C-clamp, you're going to be much more stable.
Used to having companies kiss their ass to appease them, and they don't. So they appease them so they don't complain. They don't to wait for stuff to be made and shipped, and I love the way John puts these simple bitches in their place.
I mean, if you order something custom, think about what you're ordering. I get it. If I have a fucking micro rig and it's in the primary color, chances are it's ready to go. If you're ordering fucking something with red thread in it, green thread in it, fucking a special Typhon or Raid material, you have to expect that is going to take longer because it's not something that's normally in the queue. We're not fucking turning out red thread things just to turn them out. It's got to be in the queue. Somebody has to have ordered that fucking thing, and then we'll plus it up so we have extras. But if you're ordering something fucking weird, you should just be thankful that you're getting it, because a lot of companies go with First Spear and ask them if you get red thread in anything. They're gonna tell you, yeah, we don't do that shit. Go see SOE. It's because it's more complication. It's more fucking materials you have to have on it. Takes 3 times as long because of the fucking requirements for the stitching.
Most of those companies selling that shit, they can't fucking do it. Look at your gear from other companies. You won't notice it until you look at it close. Take your phone and just hold it over the stitching. When you put a camera on something, it's like a microscope. Those stitches are all over the fucking place. They don't have 3 lines, much less 5 like we have. They got 3 lines, and there's a fucking 1/4 inch deviation. They don't have a line of thread running back over a single line of thread on any of those fucking companies. Don't believe me? Look at the gear you have that's not SOE. I promise. That's why they don't do it in fucking color, because they can't. They don't have the skill to do it. They have a bunch of women doing the same shit as fast. Go look at any of those companies. Look at London Bridge. Look at the videos they have of them sewing, how fast they're running that shit. Because they do the same shit over and over, they could not possibly do it with colored thread. Sounds like nuclear. Scully.
Nuclear.
Drives my wife nuts watching the videos, but I think it's funny as fuck.
Nuclear. How's that? Nuclear.
Plism Whizzlecler. Man, your wife has a lot of... If she's mad about these videos, she should go get another job. And then while she's doing that shit, to buy you more shit, you can watch all the videos. We'll even fucking live video with you. You can be on the video while she's working that second job. That must be some bomb-ass pussy. I bet I got him in trouble. Do you think...
Did you say his name?
No, I used his fucking Avocado Man name.
Oh, good.
Think about it.
You're probably not going to get...
If you were watching some video, would Gina be bitching at you watching videos?
Nah, she won't.
Would Amanda... What would I tell Amanda if Amanda's like, turn that video off?
I don't think she would do that, though.
Fuck no, but what would I do? I'd handcuff that ass and fucking... I'd fucking put some I'd fucking Clockwork Orange her ass, and she'd watch fucking video, whatever it is she's bitching about, she'd watch that shit for 24 hours. And I'd drip a fucking thing. I'd have water spray on her every time she fell asleep. John, if you're polishing brass in the Navy, it's because you're undesignated or a BM. That's not true. Bosun's mate.
Bosun's mate.
Yeah, Bosun's mate. Mickey Colgan. John and Scully, I've commented a couple of times and forgot to say thank you for what you're doing. You guys mentioned both of my comments. Much appreciated. I like how you guys don't bullshit. Why'd you say BS? You're a grown fucking man.
We are bullshit.
Say bullshit.
Maybe you didn't want to fucking spend time
and sugarcoat everything. Tell us how it is. Most of my money these days goes to paying bills and supporting my family. Good on you. That's because you know why? Because you're a fucking grown up. That's what you should be doing. As it should be. It's like a motherfucker's like, I ain't even been to jail. Motherfucker, you're not supposed to go to jail. You don't get a trophy for not going to jail. I have my kids. You're supposed to have your kids. You fucking made them. Good on you, dude. Good on you. When I do have some to spare, I'm trying to buy guns and ammo while we still can. I hear what you're saying. Along with that, while we still can thing, they've been saying that for 30 years. I'm trying to buy guns and ammo while we still can, but I can tell you, when I buy some nylon, it's going to be SOE. Thanks, man.
Yes.
While you're not buying from SOE, please do us the favor. I'm sure you're shopping on Amazon. Go to our website at the bottom of the page, SOE Tactical Gear. There's an Amazon button. Click that. Takes you to Amazon. Anything you purchase on Amazon or any of your friends or anybody, ask them to do that for us. And we get a little percentage off of that. We get like 1% off of that. If you're shopping on Amazon anyways, please do that for us. It just diverts a little bit of the money to us. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It doesn't look any different. We don't even know what you bought. Just do that for us as a way. If you can't do business with us, or we don't have something you need right now, we get it. But I'd say 99% of the people listening shop on Amazon, so help us out that way. Is Sergeant Major Booker still in the military, Scully? Also, did you know there's an article about you receiving a Bronze Star?
Okay, first off, Sergeant Major Booker, if he was still in the military, all our wars would be over. No, he has retired. He's been retired for, I think, 3 years now. He's in Texas, living like a rock star. Because that's what he is, a rock star. And yes, I know there's an article about me receiving a silver star, a bronze star. Sorry.
Are we gonna just pretend that wasn't said? Are we
It's
done
just-
with that?
yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
done with
skip
it.
on
It's
over
just
that
you know, it's a.
because you're
What did I say? I was
a damn national treasure.
I was awarded a bronze star.
Awarded. You didn't win it.
I didn't win the bronze star. Yes, I won a bronze star.
The Air Force uses stress cards, gents.
The Air Force, the Air Force. What would you use a stress card for? What? At what point would you use a stress card in the Air Force? I don't understand. At what point would they be like, I can't type any faster. Please let me stop, drill instructor. At what point? Like, I don't even think.
My barracks room only has one private bathroom.
Yeah, what's going on here? The air conditioner is out in the bus, Sergeant. I need to use my stress card. Air Force.
We sang parts of Baby Shark in boot camp while we did PT, Scully.
I can't believe that.
He's been in the Navy. He was in the Navy. I'll bet he was in boot camp maybe a year ago.
Oh man, that's crazy.
The USN has a deep obsession with cleaning our ships and aircraft. Cody Stout.
You know what? I don't want to say. First off, the military has a lot of time on their hands. You know, it is a 24-hour a
It's
day.
because they have to find shit for those dudes to do.
It is a 24-hour a day. It's a 24-hour a day job, the military, and you know that is how we
kind of like SOE.
How we keep the fleet in service is by having them scrub and clean and paint all the time. But here's another important thing: we, as in the United States of America and the rest of the world, they judge your readiness based off of how your ships look. We knew that the wall was coming down. We knew that the wall was coming down before anybody was even thinking wall was coming down. When Reagan,
ships were rusted.
because their ships were falling apart. There were fucking holes in their ships that we could see from satellite. We knew the wall was coming down. We knew the Soviet Union was fucking breaking apart. All those fucking submarines that they were just pulling up on shore and fucking letting rust. We were judging their readiness based off of how their ships looked. And they were letting their Navy fall a fucking apart. And like I've said before,
anything next to the water is the most expensive to maintain.
Like I said before, the Navy is threat projection. The Navy projects our will around the world. All we have to do in most cases is send a carrier group over off the coast of fucking wherever the fuck, and people will stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah, no matter where they are, they've seen what our air raids look like.
They put a fucking carrier group off the coast of Somalia, the pirates would not be going out in their little fucking canoes trying to take over boats. It's just, that's how we force protect.
That's fucking tourism at this point.
That's how
pirates.
That's how we force protect.
You can go fucking UAE, the United Arab Emirates, is sending motherfuckers to Somalia on fucking tourist boats to shoot pirates.
Shoot at pirates, yeah. Russians too. You can get a Russian tour that'll take you there to shoot pirates.
No one has better content. Hillbilly, thank you, man. It's the best podcast running for sure. Cody, thanks, man. Political left versus right paradigm is derived from the divide and conquer principle since before Rome. Democrats and Republicans are cut from the same cloth. All presidents are related. Voting is an illusion. I would agree with that. It's all the same fucking masters, different puppet show. Here's another tidbit. Nearly 10,000 laws are put on the books every year. At this rate, will eventually be legislated out of the minuscule freedoms we have. Not only that, when they put those laws in effect, they don't get rid of the laws that these ones supersede.
Yeah, they don't supersede.
They're still, just like your taxes. You're still paying taxes in every state for shit that had to do with horses. Despite there being no more horse transportation. You're still paying taxes for subways and horse-drawn carriages that no longer exist. The tax never goes away. You still pay it
on that tax, yeah.
So literally, last I heard that over 50% of all taxes you pay are taxes that no longer go to what they were for because those services ceased to exist. Like they're just obsolete. But you're still paying for subways that have been sealed up for 40, 50 years.
I've only seen that work once. Do you remember the back gate, going into the back gate of Camp Pendleton, that bridge that you had to pay 50 cents to cross?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that bridge got paid off, and they took the toll booths out, and people just cross it now. I was shocked. When I went across it, I'm like...
It's because it was on base.
What the fuck? 50... they paid this off with 50 cents change. Yeah, so they're not gonna give you money back. Shit, they're all fucking corrupt.
This is not my opinion. These are facts.
No facts.
I hope they don't read and respond to your dumb shit. If they don't respond, I hope it is middle finger, because people like you are too stupid to understand how civilization operates. Dave Smith. Who is he addressing?
I don't know.
Strawman? Ooh, you know, the political left versus right paradigm is derived from a divide and conquer. I say that all the time. So it's just like there's not a black and white problem. There's not an upper and middle class problem. All of that is derived to keep us fighting amongst ourselves. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
It's to keep us doing this podcast. It's to keep us fighting. Think about it. If you turn all the new, let's turn off all electronics, all your electronics. Don't see anything that's going on in the news. Nothing. What would you do with all that free time? Mine would be 6 hours. I'll bet I have 6 hours of my day. 6 of 24 hours. If I turn this off, I would sit on my sewing machine or work out or fuck or eat, whatever it is I'm doing.
Do you think you could do it though?
No, I couldn't be in business. Not at the level that we're in right now. I literally, for instance, here, just this, okay? A lot of times, so we'll launch an email Thursday. Look for it. It's coming tonight. Shows you all the new shit we have and what's available, any promotions that we have going right now. Thursday, we launch an email. Friday, we launch an email. Saturday, we launch an email. A lot of times, we will leave very early or not be here at all. Saturday, we'll come in, do the animals or whatever, and then leave town. Saturday morning, if we're not here, middle of the day, Amanda won't have an email ready to go. The email is always a little different from Thursday, Friday to Saturday. Saturday's email will be whatever finished end of the day on Friday. And that'll be the new header item that whoever is wise enough to open that email will see it. And then by Monday, that shit's usually gone. So the days Amanda doesn't launch that email, sales will be almost $3,000 lower on Saturday, on just a normal Saturday with no new release of item, no new product, nothing crazy. And I'll go, Amanda, did you launch an email? She's like, shit, no, I forgot to set it up to launch. I go, launch it. She's like, it's already 9 o'clock. This happened Saturday while we were in Louisville, Kentucky. I go, launch the fucking email. Saturday, I'm sitting at a bar in the hotel, beautiful bar. I'm eating, what was I eating? I was eating king crab pot. It is literally king crab pulled and put in a cup that they have poured butter over. It's like a 1/4 pound of king crab. I'm eating that and a tomahawk ribeye, whatever it is. It's a pterodactyl leg. It's huge. I have photos. I'll put some photos of it up. And I go, launch the email. She's like, it's already 9 o'clock. I go, launch the email anyways. She launched the email. We left the bar maybe an hour later, and sales had spiked $3,000 Saturday night on an email she was not going to launch. Just because of that email. There wasn't anything new. She goes, I don't have anything new. I go, relaunch Friday's email. She pushed Friday's email again on Saturday. Sales in an hour jumped $3,000. That's $3,000 of revenue that was not going to happen. So yeah, I'm tied to the fucking cell phone. When we go places, we go out on the weekend or whatever, we drive. Louisville was a 4.5 hour drive. I was doing emails and Facebook and Instagram the whole entire time. I'm communicating with people.
If we leave here, if John's like, hey, let's go to dinner. We'll get in the car. He will get in the car and he will open his computer, and the whole way wherever we're going, he's doing email, doing fucking Instagram, Facebook, whatever, fucking updating that shit. Same thing. We'll get there, he'll close it, we'll come back, he'll be doing the same thing all the way back. He's always fucking working. I don't have the brain capacity to work as much as he does. As soon as I leave here, I have my problem is I have a 45-minute drive.
It would be so much different if you lived closer.
No, it would be terrible. I have a 40-minute drive to get home, and
I didn't just your everything for you would be better.
By the time I get home, if I'm walking out the door and John goes, hey, bring 2 sleeping bags tomorrow, I'll be like, bringing 2 sleeping bags tomorrow, awesome. And by the time I get home, I get in the door, Gina's like, the dog's dying. A tree fell down in the backyard. There's a thing over here. The next morning I'll get up and I'll be like, oh shit, I'm late. I got to get to the gym. And I'll leave And it won't be till I get here, till I get to the door. I'm like, oh, fuck, I needed to bring in 2 sleeping bags. It happens every time. Like, I need 3 days. I literally need 3 days of John going, hey, we're going to do such and such on Friday. Make sure you bring that shit in.
Bring your UGT shorts.
And if he does not remind me on Thursday,
I literally...
because what I'll do is I have to go and get the shit. So I'll get the shit, I'll bring it in the house, and I'll put it in the man cave. And then Wednesday, John's like, hey, don't forget we're doing that thing. And then I'll take it and I'll be like, okay, I got to put it in the kitchen. And I'll put it in the kitchen.
When really he should have just walked out the door and put it in his truck.
But it's just...
It doesn't happen often. I used to write on his arm with a Sharpie, but he doesn't see it. So now he has all these tattoos that I've Indian inked on him, but...
It's just too complicated.
But we don't know what any of them mean anymore because they all passed.
That's the problem. Is I decompress when I get home. Like, I have to because of you guys, I try to force myself every day. Just boom, what's happening in the news? What's going on in the news? So
Jeff doesn't work here because he likes working here. He doesn't work here because of me.
I work here because of you.
He works here because this is like being in the military, and this is the closest he's going to get to being in the military.
I work here because
Jeff is on call 24 hours a day.
Yeah, this is true.
I just never call him.
I
call somebody 24 hours a day.
He can't
never Jeff.
He can't call me because
he thinks I can't call him.
Unfortunately,
he doesn't know. He doesn't know there's a certain female that I can call, and she will send an officer to Jeff's house. I have had him go and be like, is that motherfucker at home? Where's he at? And she will send me a picture of his trucks out in front of his house.
So, anyways, that's my problem.
He also doesn't know about my pole camera. What do you think you put
that would be cool.
You didn't put that flagpole up for a flag.
That would be cool if you had a pole camera. I would be. Not only would I be impressed, I would want the thing so I could fucking watch and see what's going on.
See what's going on at your house.
What's going on.
All right, guys, it's 6:51. We still got a bunch of people out here. I still got to do photos. I got to do an email. Amanda's got her email push. I've got to do Instagram and Facebook updates for a product that was made today. And I'm sure I've still got Randall out here. Yep. So, and I got to go eat again.
And I got to forget everything that just happened.